evolution as a construct, and when I mean evolution, I'm talking about macroevolution, and I want to disambiguate that from what is essentially adaptation and often called microevolution, but erroneously so, in my opinion, does not exist. It can't exist. The macroevolutionary theory has been debunked, in my view. And the more science is able to observe the universe, as our technology gets stronger, as our abilities to analyze the data gets better, more and more evidence shows how incredibly sophisticated and complex the universe is. And the more you have to step back as an intellectual, as an honest intellectual, and there are many people who are not honest, and say to yourself, there's no way that the sophistication that we can observe in the world could come from nothing, could spontaneously be just into existence, just pop into existence from nothing. It's absurd. So you have people talking about, oh, well, maybe it's a multiverse, or maybe we were seeded here by aliens. But eventually you always have to go back to an original intelligence. Okay? Some person outside of space and time that could control space and time. That's the only explanation you can come to when you look at the evidence. Let me give you an example, and then I'll stop. So, DNA. Just take the DNA sequence. The helix itself, if it's stretched out end to end, is long enough to go from the Earth to the Sun and back. One person's DNA strand is complex enough to go all the way from the Earth to the Sun and back. It's a quaternary system of code, not binary like our computers. It's twice as sophisticated as the base of our most sophisticated computers. Now, this system of expression, because that's what it is, it's expressing who you are, who I am, is incredibly complex and symbiotic, and also original, right? Even identical twins don't have exactly the same DNA strand. And now, that's just one person. Now, let's just to see the math, let's think about how many people have lived on the planet, approximately. About 108 billion. That's the assumption. So let's take 108 billion strands of DNA, stretch them from the Earth to the Sun, and then back up in our conscious mind and observe that, and think about how incredibly complex mathematically the calculus of that kind of creation. And think, okay, is it possible that this sort of sophistication, right? If you're doing, a probability, it would be 1 to the Google. Is this possible that this kind of sophistication, this calculus, these mathematics that we observe, we're not creating them, we're observing them, is it possible that this comes from nothing? And that's just humanity. That's not all the species in the world. That's not all the other complexities in the world. That's just humanity. Is it possible to think that this was spontaneously created from nothing? No matter how much time, no matter how many things were involved, is it possible? The answer is absolutely no. It's not possible. Being a nihilist, being an atheist, embracing evolution as your core worldview is not a rational position.